How to use vocal variety when speaking in public. What is vocal variety? Some people say it's the voice you use in conversation. Others say it's the voice you use to sing if you sound bland in conversation. Vocal variety is how you use your voice to show your feelings. Carl Habig, a professional coach, describes how different combinations of pace and loudness give different impressions of the speaker to the audience. You can use your voice naturally in speaking through appropriate use of energy, intonation, and rhythm. What is energy? Listen to the two recordings.
Tests, traffic, Twitter. They are so overwhelming and stressful. But who has time to relieve stress when it's constantly building and building? Well, we hope you do, because studies have shown that too much stress leads to headaches, higher blood pressure, an upset stomach, memory loss, disrupted sleep, and increased risk of heart attacks. Tests, traffic, Twitter. Oh, they're so overwhelming and stressful. But who has time to relieve stress when it's constantly building and building? Well, we hope you do, because studies have shown that too much stress leads to headaches, higher blood pressure, an upset stomach, memory loss, disrupted sleep, and increased risk for heart attacks.
Which speaker do you want to listen to? The first one or the second one? Most people prefer the second speaker. Why? Because it sounds more energetic, whereas the first speaker's voice just puts people to sleep. What kind of voice do people like to hear? Happy? Sad? Fearful? Disgusting? Angry? Or what? Of course, a happy, cheerful voice. So how do you sound happy when you're nervous about speaking in public? The answer is, ta-da! Think happy thoughts. Dale Carnegie, the famous lecturer and public speaker, said, if we think happy thoughts, we will be happy. If we think miserable thoughts, we will be miserable. Just like what Peter Pan said, to fly, just think happy thoughts. Before you give a speech, recall any happy moments to add energy and passion to your speaking. The second thing to make your speech sound natural is through intonation. What is intonation? It is the pitch of your voice which goes up and down when you speak. In the sentence, she lost her cell phone, the pitch of the word cell phone goes down to show that's the end of the idea. However, in the question, she lost her cell phone, the pitch of the word cell phone goes up to show that the speaker is surprised by the news. Most linguists think that there are 4 intonation patterns in English: a falling tone at the end of an idea, a low rising tone for yes-no questions, a high rising tone to show surprise, and a falling tone followed by a rising tone to show that the idea will be continued in the rest of the sentence. A falling tone like she lost her cell phone, a low rising tone like did she lose her cell phone, a high rising tone like she lost her cell phone, and a falling and rising tone like she lost her cell phone, her wallet, and her car keys. So make sure that you listen to lots of native speakers' conversations to get a feel of what it's like and imitate native English intonation when speaking, or else you'll sound funny. Other than energy and intonation, the last thing that makes speech natural is rhythm. What is rhythm? It is the melody of your voice when speaking. Rhythm consists of 3 elements: pause, unnecessary sounds, and pace. What is pause? A pause is a stop. Every speaker pauses to take a breath when they speak. Do I really need to pause? Yes, so that you can emphasize what you want to say and give the audience time to understand your message. Where do we pause? At the end of a thought group. Listen to the 2 recordings.
Why would you get up so early to attend YLP when you can stay home and sleep in too late? Why would you get up so early to attend YLP when you can stay home and sleep in too late?
I hope you prefer to listen to the second speaker like most people do. Why? The first one speaks as fast as a machine gun and is hard to catch up. The second one pauses at the end of each thought group and stresses the word before he pauses. How does that sound to you? Much easier to follow, right? Native English speakers usually stress the word before they pause so that there will be a double emphasis on the meaning. This is what they do to make sure the audience doesn't miss anything. So what words do people stress? Words that carry meanings like nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, negatives like not, WH words like what, and interjections like wow. So remember to pause when you speak because it's very useful. Do you know that there's something that makes pauses useless? Listen to the next recording.
I think when you talk about the behavior pattern has changed and will continue to change, both in many ways, good as well as bad. I think that what the market is looking for is a quicker P&L, much quicker engine of delivery and products and services.
It's a necessary sounds like, let's say, it's really annoying, isn't it? So how do you eliminate unnecessary sounds? Just keep your mouth shut when you feel an urge to say them. You can stay away from all unnecessary sounds with higher awareness and more practice. The last thing that helps you sound natural is pace. Pace is the speed how you say the words in a sentence. Like in this example, native speakers of syllable-time languages will pronounce every syllable clearly. Birds eat worms. The birds eat the worms. The birds will eat the worms. The birds will have eaten the worms. However, native English speakers say all 4 sentences with the same pace and end up more or less in 3 beats. Birds eat worms. The birds eat the worms. The birds will eat the worms. The birds will have eaten the worms. So how do you learn native English rhythm? By pronouncing all unstressed vowels with the schwa, which sounds very light, like the in mother. Unlike some languages, not all vowels in English are stressed. Schwa is a very soft vowel that exists in almost every word with a vowel in English. Make sure that you use this unstressed vowel in speaking to sound natural. These 3 elements, pause, unnecessary sounds, and pace, are what makes English rhythm distinct. Through appropriate use of energy, intonation, and rhythm, you can make your voice sound natural in English. So what is an effective way for non-native English speakers to learn vocal variety? Watching cartoons, particularly cartoons where the main characters use their voice in exaggerated ways. Every person has a lively speaking voice, so listen, imitate, and say it out loud, and you'll sound natural in no time.